What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today we are going to be talking about and theorizing what we could be seeing for the Saiyan Day celebration that will be coming around the 18th of March, okay? For JP, year 5 is basically over. I covered my kind of overall thoughts and then gave it a grade. If you want to check that video, that'll be down in the description below or in the top right corner screen appearing right now. But yeah, overall, I was satisfied with the year 5 celebration. But of course, during the 5-year celebration, we got details for March, right? V-Jump and all that fun stuff, all right? And yes, I do believe this is also going to be both a global and JP thing because global, you are currently getting cooler right now on top of also having an amazing EZA with the physical Vegito Blue. And all of that goes away on the 18th, which is Saiyan Day in Japan. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that means it's going to come in. Now, I will say, we don't know anything about the Dokkan Fest banner or anything like that. It's probably going to be a skip for most people. If you're skipping Cooler, the best TUR in the game right now, you're probably going to be skipping the Saiyan Day banner because A, it's not going to be a dual Dokkan Fest. It wasn't last year or the year before that. So yeah, it's probably just going to be kind of a whatever banner, right? The banner last year was okay. It wasn't too bad, but overall, I would say probably a decent amount of people are going to skip it because there's no way they're going to be better. Whatever, the main new character is, it's not going to be better than the LR Vegito and Gogeta. I don't know why I keep saying Gogito. I think mixing them in my mind for some reason. Anyway, regardless, I don't think that's going to happen. But what this celebration is going to be doing is bringing along a ton of free-to-play characters. So we're going to go over the old ones that we've had in this similar quality real quick, and then we're going to take a look at what these guys could potentially be doing, and especially what the new free-to-play LR is going to do, and then finally we'll talk about the Dokkan Fest unit that I would personally like to see, and slash I've seen a lot of people asking about over on Twitter. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so if you remember back, what was it, during the year 3 celebration where we got the transforming Gogeta and Vegito, we also got the free-to-play Ginyu Force, where you could farm up the cards, farm up the orbs, and then when you completed that all, you got them all up to level 120, maxed rainbow and everything, because again, you farmable orbs and everything. We were allowed to unlock an mission which gave us this card right here that you're seeing in front of you, the LR Ginyu in Goku's body, basically, all right? So this card and this just team in general is to this day still very, very good. It can beat most events. In fact, hey, it even has one of its own Super Battle Road stages. The only thing this stage probably, or this team really can't beat is going to be the Legendary Goku events and then probably some of the Dragon Ball Infinite Dragon Ball History events. Because again, you most likely need cards that can really hit hard or stack or, really make sure you don't take too much damage or anything. So, aside from those, it's still a very, very good team to this day, right? So, but if you guys remember though, when we got this Goku in, again, I'm just gonna call him Goku or Ginyu, whatever it is gonna be. But when we originally got this guy, we didn't have any dupes of him for a while at least. The first dupe that became available was actually through the Baba shop in the Battlefield currency. And to this day, that's how you actually get him up to Rainbow now, which some people did. So depending on how good this LR Bardock family is going to be, which again, we'll go take a look at this V-Jump scan here in a second, it could be pretty cool to see what they do and if it's going to make sense for the future. Because the one downside, and I think most people can agree with this, the one downside to the Ginyu Force and this Goku or Ginyu in Goku's body is that that's the only team he can really be on. That makes the most sense for his team, right? You want to be with the Ginyu Force, and that's it. So I'm wondering if they're going to do with the next free-to-play LR, which is going to be the Bardock family or the Bardock team. Is that going to be the same way, or are they going to maybe change it up a bit where, hey, he's at his absolute best with his other team members, but if you throw him onto a different team, they're actually okay and they're still going to do just fine. We'll wait and see exactly what the card is. We have absolutely no details on the card, all right? So, because if we look at this Goku, he was the Ginyu Force category, Ki plus 3, stats up 100%. Okay, so that's the LR, he stats up 100%. He had a 12 and 18 Ki super attack, obviously. He was able to raise his extreme allies' attack by 30%, doing the Mega Colossal one, and then he greatly raised his attack for 1 turn. If that had been defense, he would have been a lot better in today's meta, right? At that time, during year 3, that was completely fine and did exactly what it needed to do. But for today's meta and how the game is playing, not the greatest, obviously, right? We want a little bit of defense in there because we got to have a good combination of defense and attack. And then mostly he's just a support unit. That's all he is. He doesn't actually get any attack, right? He gives attack and defense to all extreme allies and the extra 20% to the Ginyu Force, which is, again, the whole point. You're supposed to run them together to be only the Ginyu Force team, okay? And then, again, in terms of his categories, Plant Namek Saga, no one really runs that team. Ginyu Force, again, that's his main team you want to have him on. Dragon Ball Seekers, he was okay if you went more of the villainous route with that team, but that team is still the best free-to-play team in the entire game right now, with all the different LRs, so this guy doesn't exactly fit on there the greatest. Joined Forces, and then Terrifying Conquerors, or I guess this is Conquest of Terrors or whatever. He doesn't really fit on there either. I mean, granted, he could work maybe as a support unit with the attack and defense of 30%, but, you got to worry about Ki a little bit with that. So, overall, though, again, not a bad card by any means. That's just where he is today, right? Then you had his other units, right? You had the Physical Raccoon, who, all of them did supreme damage. He greatly lowers defense. To this day, is still not really that good. He had defense up, and he had to get hits in order to get his decent attack up. He actually was not too bad when it came to getting a decent attack off. J-Seer was a very good Ki and support unit, which was really nice. He gave extreme class to allies, Ki +2 and attack up 20%. He's really good for using on the free-to-play Super Battle Road STR stage, extreme STR stage. He's definitely really nice right there, especially if you give him dodge. And he actually got something that a lot of us have wanted in other units, and the ability to 4C enemy super attack, which is very handy on some of those older harder events. So it makes me wonder, are they going to give that to one of the Bardock team members, those individual cards, right? Because if we go over to the V-Jump real quick, this is what we're looking at right here, okay? We've got this is the free-to-play LR, so again, this is just very similar to the Ginyu Force. It's probably just going to be a Bardock silhouette, and then the super attack is going to, encompass all of them, just like the Ginyu and Goku's body. And then we have the 5 free-to-play cards. You got the Bardock here, you've got Shigesh, who is this, Dotebo, okay? Then we got Toma, and then Sariba. Okay, so again, usually based on how these guys had their colors and everything, you can kind of guess what these are going to be. Unfortunately, Toma, Shigesh, and Bardock, they all have some kind of greenish looking yellow tintish color. So me personally, with my eyes, for any of you guys who have watched a lot of my videos a lot or seen me over on Twitter, you guys know that certain colors look exactly the same to me. Blues and purples do, reds and browns, all that stuff. So for example, in game, tech orbs for Dokkan, they look yellow to me, and physical look green. Just wrap your head around that for a minute, okay? So with that being said, again, you can pretty much guess what the colors are going to be. She's going to be STR from the looks of it. He's going to be INT, or maybe even AGL. I'm not really sure. Originally, I thought Bardock was going to be STR maybe, but maybe not. Again, I'm not really sure. You guys let me know down in the comments below what exactly they're going to do. So anyway, again, it's been translated. I translated this a long time ago, but again, it says when you get the 5 people to Dokkan Awaken and you 100% them in the ability system, because again, they're going to have their own farmable orbs, and it's going to be the same thing most likely as the Ginyu Force ones, where Mondays were agility, Tuesdays was tech, Int was Wednesday, Thursday was STR, and Friday was physical. And on the weekends, you're able to farm up those cards if you wanted to, but I think you couldn't get the orbs or something like that. It's been forever since I've looked at that at old events. But bottom line, once you get them 100% and everything like that, you'll unlock the mission. It even says Subite or mission, right? You're gonna unlock a mission right here, and you're gonna get the LR, all right? So we'll have to, again, wait exactly and see what's gonna happen here in just 1 second. Anyway, so Jace was a really good card. Then we had Captain Ginyu. Captain Ginyu was the best of the entire thing, right? He raises attack indefinitely. He did supreme damage. A Ki +3, attack and defense up 70% when facing one enemy, or if he faces more than two or more enemies, he mitigated damage by 50%, right? That was actually really good. Really helpful for Super Battle Road and some of the stages he could be used on. So it was definitely really cool right there. Then if we went over to Wildo, he was okay card. He definitely relied more on lowering the enemy's attack and defense. So it was decent for Super Battle Road. And then the fact that he had a medium chance of stun was always nice. But usually he was the one you threw off rotation. And unfortunately, 2 of these cards down here, they're going to be thrown off rotation just based on how they're used, right? So anyway, so that was kind of his little gimmick right there. And then Birder here, he raised defense indefinitely, which to this day now actually is probably still somewhat relevant. If you had to bring him along for whatever reason, he can at least stack his attack or stack his defense the entire time. Because he actually does a super attack plus from 9 key and above. He doesn't have to be at 12 key. A lot of these guys actually do. I believe you do as well. You are very easy to get up to 12 key, so he was fine. Jace, I believe, did not, and neither did Recruim. But so these two definitely had that 9 key or more. So that was definitely really nice. And then again, he was kind of a nuker, but he raised his defense indefinitely. So that was actually really nice. And he had this... I'm not a fan of this in this game, unfortunately, the whole first turn and you can dodge, because it's not really true. It's more of a, hey, get the attack off and then you have the chance to dodge. Not, hey, you're in the first slot, you have a chance to dodge, right? So if you have like 7 attacks or something like that at the very beginning before you can give an attack off, there is no point keeping this guy on rotation. Everybody knows that. So, all right, so with that being said, though, for all of these, what in the world are these guys going to do, right? Let's take a look at the LR first, okay? So we know that the Ginyu and Goku's body was the Ginyu Force category, key plus 3, stats up 100%. So a lot of people are thinking that they are either going to be one of two things. Either A, it's going to bring in a new category, or actually, I'm going to take them back. I'm going to say 3 things. Either A brings in a new category, B is going to be joined forces, or C, joined forces doesn't necessarily make the most sense though, because again, none of these are joined forces, but regardless, you could maybe have dual double leads, right? You could have joined forces and something, right? Or it's going to be low-class warriors, right? Low-class Saiyans, so that's going to encompass, you know, base Vegetas, any of the Bardocks, basically, anyone that was in that category, because that category is pretty low, and I wouldn't be surprised if by the 350 million download celebration, when we get new Super Battle Road stages, that we potentially see this as that free-to-play, you know, Super Battle Road stage. We had the Ginyu Force one last time, we had Peppy Gals the time before that, so then this upcoming one would finally have the low-class warriors category. I don't know. Let me hear your thoughts down below. What do you think? Do you think I think I personally see that happening. So, and then in terms of what they do, I want to say it's probably just going to be a copy and paste and say, hey, we're going to go straight into doing the support type stuff. But I'm hoping that they at least get some attack and defense, and then they are also support units for these guys. Maybe not be a support unit for everything, but they are a support unit for if you happen to have anyone from the Bardock team, or if it might be a very long passive by saying like, hey, if you have, you know, all these members on your team, or if any of these members are in the team, they are getting a support boost, right? So for example, if you know, like Piccolo, for example, right? In order for him to transform, you have to have a Namekian on your team. In order for, you know, other people to transform or anything like that, they have to have a certain unit right there. So like the into Dokkan Fest Future Gohan, he has to have a Trunks on the team, or some of them even have it on rotation sometimes. So I could easily see the LR doing something like that, where, hey, the LR has an attack and defense passive, gives itself key for whatever orb or something like that. Maybe even throw in a Broly Trio type thing. I would definitely like that. I like the Broly Trio stuff that they do. It's actually really nice. So maybe they do something like that. And then on the side, by the way, saying, oh, by the way, if you are running them with these free-to-play members, or technically any of these members here, then guess what? It's going to also provide some attack and defense to them, and maybe even some key. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The passives can't get too long, but they get pretty long. So, again, let me hear your thoughts down below. Now, what are these 5 going to do here? Again, we know this guy's going to be the leader, and we know these are going to be, obviously, your teammates. If I had to take a wild guess, I hope that they keep Toma here as a support type unit, because right now, currently, his ape one, his giant ape Toma card, is an amazing support unit. Key plus 3, stats up 30%, or attack up 30%, which is really, really nice. Basically a baby version of Dokkan Fest Turles. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there. In terms of Shugesh, I'm going to assume he's going to be some kind of maybe defensive type support unit, or he's just going to be something very similar to Jace maybe. Let's see, Seriba, I'm going to guess she's going to be a nuker. I don't know why, I just think she's going to be a nuker for some reason. And then I think he'll be a nuker as well, probably. And then Bardock's probably going to be kind of your typical, you know, key plus 3, stats up 100%, and then does something extra at the end. That's personally what I would think right there. Regardless of what they do, though, they're probably going to be pretty good. I mean, the Ginyu Force to this day is still very, very good. And at that time when they came out, they were very good and considered the best free-to-play team in the entire game. So I easily see this being one of the best free-to-play teams, if not the best free-to-play team. Although beating Seekers of the Dragon Balls worth so many of those free-to-play LRs, and then on top of that, having the GT Trio, even though you can't find them anymore. Still pretty good stuff right there. So overall, I'm super, super excited for this stuff to come out. Again, it's going to be coming out on the 18th, Sand Day right here. And again, yes, I do believe this will be for both JP and Global. So that will be really, really cool. All right. Last thing I do want to touch on, though, real quick, is the fact that this doesn't show us any of the Dokkan Fest stuff, right? So year 5 is ending next week for JP. Global, you're just starting up with the cooler and everything. So JP, we're going to be kind of low on banners. I'm assuming we're probably going to get maybe a female banner or something, or some kind of filler LR banner that's going to fill in those next 2 weeks if I open up my calendar down here, right? So again, it goes away on the 3rd. Okay, so this is when the year 5 anniversary ends. And then the 18th here is when this starts up. There's no way they're going to put a Dokkan Fest unit in here in the beginning and then go on the 18th. So I'm assuming this weekend here is just going to be some kind of filler banners. And then here, probably around here, actually, the 13th or so, into here is when we're going to start seeing the celebration stuff for this event. And then, by the way, on the 18th, we're going to get the actual Dokkan Fest. Now, what is the actual Dokkan Fest going to be? A lot of people wanting some kind of transformation Bardock that goes from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 3, or a base Bardock into Super Saiyan 3, which would make this guy kind of irrelevant, unfortunately. So I personally wouldn't want that. I would probably want a Super Saiyan Bardock that goes into Super Saiyan 3. That's probably what I would want, because we have a couple of Super Saiyan 3 or Super Saiyan Bardocks in the game, but they're both basically support units. The physical one's not too bad, and the tech one has its moments for making orbs for like the LR Goku, but until he gets his EZA, I don't personally see that happening and him really being used at all. So hopefully they do something like that. And then finally, I know everyone wants to get the Into Vegeta Blue to have his EZA finally, but I would personally love to see the Masked Saiyan get an EZA. That dude definitely needs one. And so if he can get an EZA, I would 100% be down for that. So again, let me hear your thoughts down below. What do you think the Dokkan Fest unit would be, or what would you like to see? And with the EZA, the Vegeta, or the Masked Saiyan, let me know. So anyway, guys, that is going to be it for the video, though. Let me hear your thoughts down below in the comments. As always, leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. Until next time, everyone, I will see you all in the next one.